So now that we know how to synthesize crazy sounds, let's find out how to put them into order. And for this, I would like to ask on stage Neven, who is the lead product specialist for the KOMPLETE range, and she is going to show you two very innovative and exciting ways to sequence sounds, both on REAKTOR and with a different tool. So please, a warm applause for Neven.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm the lead product specialist at Native Instruments for KOMPLETE. And today, my topic is sequencers, like Mikhail just said. So techno obviously has a lot to do with grid-based music, but it also involves a lot of sound design and working with textures. So what I want to show you today is a really fun setup using two REAKTOR sequencers, which let you improvise and perform different kinds of sound ideas really quickly and easily. So here's the first one. It's already on screen. It's the 8-channel Maschine Jam sequencer. And this was designed specifically in REAKTOR to be used with this piece of hardware over here, Maschine Jam. I have to say the software is actually still in development, so this is just a real small sneak peek at what's to come in the next few months. Okay, so let's take a closer look at it. Right now I have REAKTOR loaded in Ableton as a plugin, so it's syncing nicely to the tempo of my track. And over here, I have my 8 sequencers or 8 channels running, and each one is going to a different sound. And if I want to switch between the channels, I can just press these buttons over here. Above that, I have my 64 pad grid, so I can sequence my beats. Okay, so right off the bat, let's just create a real simple beat. My first 3 sequences are going to a bass drum, a clap, and a hi-hat in REAKTOR blocks. So let's just put something down real quick. Okay, so that's a bass drum, a little hat, clap, and now a little hi-hat to finish off. There we go. Could you put a bit louder on the monitor? Because I can't hear it very well. Thanks a lot. Oh, perfect. Okay. So the first thing that I notice is my hi-hat is a little bit loud. So what I can do is use these touch strips on the hardware to bring down the velocity and make it a little quieter. So I'm just going to do that now. Cool. I'm going to do that with the clap as well. All right. To mute any of these channels, I can just use these buttons down here. So if I want to kill the bass drum for a second, I just press that, and then I can bring it back in. Okay, I'm just going to mute these for now. So as you can see, it's super fast and easy to come up with beats using this setup. But my favorite part about this is that I can set up each channel individually to run on its own custom grids to create polyrhythms. And I love polyrhythms. And to show you how this works, I'm actually going to delete my hi-hat pattern. And can you actually put the hardware as the main? Great. So as you can see, now it's running on a 16-step grid, which is, a typical 4/4 time signature in Western music. But I want to create a polyrhythm, right? So I'm actually going to change this now to 3 steps, just like this. And now you can see it's running on a 3-step grid. I'm going to put down some notes and bring it all back in. So these different pattern lengths make my groove a lot more interesting and less repetitive. Now I'm actually going to add another sound to that. I've got my open hi-hat on this next channel, and this is running on a 7-step grid. But this time, I'm actually not going to program notes by pressing down the pads. I'm going to use the Euclidean mode to let algorithms program the notes for me, because I'm lazy. Okay, so I'm just going to choose 2 notes and press enter, and there you go. So now Maschine Jam has programmed those notes for me, and if I want, I can make the sequencer run backwards for fun. So now I have 3 different rhythms going on in my groove simultaneously. And, you know, in techno, you find a lot of polyrhythms. It's very common, especially you hear it in early Detroit techno, for example. And this setup makes it very, very easy to create them. So if you're interested in livening up your patterns, try this out when it's released. A really cool thing is that I'm not confined to only using REAKTOR sounds, right? There's a knowledge base on our website that actually explains how to route REAKTOR sequences to your DAW so you can use it with, you know, samples, your favorite plugins, or even external hardware, your external modular if you want. And what I've done, I've actually got an external sequencer here going to some shakers in Ableton Live, just samples, and it's really easy just to mix and match these different sound sources. Okay, so that's the Maschine Jam sequencer. I've had a lot of fun playing with this over the last couple of weeks, but my favorite part is that I can do all of this. I can customize all of my patterns, change the length, change the speed, make it run backwards or forwards or both, directly from the hardware without, you know, having to reach to the mouse. So I can really stay in the zone and I don't get distracted by computer screens. So that's my beat programming done. Now let's work on some textures, which brings me to my second sequencer. This one is a real hidden gem in the REAKTOR user library. I'm just going to bring it up on screen now. So if you could bring that, perfect, thank you. This is called NOD-E, and I've never used a sequencer quite like this one before, I have to say. Immediately when you open it up, your eyes are drawn to this section over here with these flying boxes moving around in this green rectangle. Now, NOD-E is a sequencer, right? It doesn't make a sound by itself. So what I've done is hook this up to SteamPipe, which, you know, sounds like its name. It's basically emulating air going down a pipe. It's in the REAKTOR factory library. But you can use a sequencer with whatever you want, right? This is how it works. Each of these 8 boxes, moving boxes, is a note. And the pitch of these notes, so if it's a C or an A or a G, is defined over here. So you can just draw in the different pitches over there. And you hear a sound whenever one of these little boxes leaves the green rectangle. It's a bit of an unconventional concept, but it creates unconventional patterns. And I'm just going to play you a couple of them now. So that's one. I'm just going to play you another. So the movement of these boxes is actually controlled by this section over here. So I can use these frequency sliders, which I've mapped to some knobs on my controller, to slow down the rhythm or speed it up. The really cool thing is that it syncs to the tempo of my track. So over here, I've got some little bit of percussion to go on top of my beat. And if I bring my bass drum in, you can hear it's running nicely in sync with the rest of my track. Okay. So, you know, similar to Maschine Jam, it's really easy to create polyrhythms using this setup. But they have completely different approaches to sound sequencing, and because of that, they sound very different. But I think they complement each other a lot. So actually what I'm going to do to just finish this segment off is bring these two sequences together and just improvise a couple of different patterns and tweak some sounds. Okay. we go. Ideas just then, you know, but it makes it very easy to improvise using this setup. So yeah, that's the end of my segment. You know, Mikhail brought it up at the beginning. Techno is also about experimentation. And this is what I really love about the combination of these two sequences, is that they allow you to have these anticipated fixed patterns, but also give you these unpredictable moments, which are really important when you're creating new music. So yeah, feel free to try them out. They're actually set up on the demo stations at the back. And if you have any questions, just approach me and ask any questions you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Neven.